Good evening, morning, night, or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Quarantine Cup here in Left 4 Dead 2. This is going to be consisting of 2 separate matches, so we're going to be here for, providing the survivors play fairly well, we are going to be here for approximately 2 hours. This is a voice that you may be familiar with. My name is Haroldson. I will be bringing to you a solo cast today. I actually have been out of action for quite some time, actually, since the end of the European tournament that I recently hosted. And actually, speaking of that, I'm just going to quickly go down the roster of the current team that are all here on the survivor side. That's going to be 44Biceps. That's going to be consisting of Vigo, Antax, Crown Javo, which I will refer to them as, but they're also known as Freyo, and Heli. Now, these guys have all competed in the European tournament and proved themselves to be very, very good. They proved themselves to be a force to be reckoned with. And they are on home territory, technically, as well, because 2 of them are very European. Vigo is around like Central Europe. Antax is French as well. So on the first half of this, they're going to have the slight advantage. Their opposition going to be the opposition are setting up right now. They haven't quite gotten everybody in. They are going to be Team LuckyGlock, which is what the LG stands for. Currently consisting of Spirit, Nevermore, and Ramirez. Not sure if I butchered the pronunciation there, but they only have 3 at the moment, and I heard some chat in the chat that they have a last on the way, so we shouldn't be waiting too much longer. But of course, all I can really do is apologize on behalf. We do have the final person, Avocado, which to be honest, I'd rather call them Avocado because I really like that name. That is Frey or Freyosity. But I prefer the name Avocado, so if they stick with that name, that is what I am going to call them, just simply because I really like avocados. But this person seems to be joining and leaving a fair bit. So as I say, we are on home territory to begin with. The European team on the Survivor side, they do have they do have Crown Javo or Freyo. He, as you can see by the ping, is not European, but the other three are. So that's very much going to work in their favor in this first half. Now, the next thing to talk about is this is hard rain as well. And the thing about friend is that it's not friendly towards the survivors. Hard rain, oh, dead air. Sorry, excuse me. I'm thinking of hard rain for some reason. Dead air is very unforgiving to the survivors. Why did I say dead air? Very hard rain. Very weird. Anyway, so dead air is very unforgiving. As you can see, there's a very small bridge that you come up to, and that right there, straight outside the safe room, is a death charge opportunity. There are death charge opportunities all around the map, even though it is short, that it is full of very lethal choke points that the survivors especially are going to need to be very careful of, and the infected are going to need to make sure that they capitalize on. So we're just going to have to see how they play, of course. This is technically not so much a best of two, but it is certainly an evening out because, as you can see, these guys are from different regions. This is an international tournament, and therefore the teams are going to hail from all sorts of different continents. We do have teams from Asia, there are teams from Europe, there are teams from both North and South America. There's plenty of action, plenty of different teams from all the continents in the world, and they are all competing to be crowned. And well, the timing is pretty good there because we are going live here in the first half of the first chapter of this match. And just as a reminder, by the way, guys, both of these teams have actually won their first games. They actually are, at the moment, undefeated. That's going to be the spawns dropping down from the rooftop, but the jockey is shut down after the charger. The spitter therefore can't really make much happen. So Smoker is just going to kind of stay on the ladder there, and I think he was trying to get a pull on the ladder, but he was unsuccessful. That is going to be a Nevermore tank in the hands of LuckyGlock. That is an unlucky boomer, though. That is certainly not on the lucky side, and neither is the Rock. The Rock is not going to make contact with the survivors. Survivors made their way back into the safe room. They are in relatively good health as well. So we're just going to have to see how this plays out for both of the teams. It is a favorable position to be in, actually, if you're the survivors, because there's plenty of the plant pots, which are something that the tank has to jump over to get to you. So you can use them to your advantage to kind of juke the punches, if you will. There's going to be an attack sent in, but not very much happening from it. The Charger and Smoker are both shut down quite easily. Of course, they did choose to do that because the tank has managed to maintain line of sight for a fairly long time now. That is just about depleting as we speak. It's on 85% and gradually declining on pass number 2. So Nevermore's tank has no real option here but to go in. He does actually fall to the lower ground there, which is an unfortunate mistake, but it doesn't cost him too much HP. He is going to be moving in for the survivors. There's a Boomer, Hunter, and a Jockey to support him. Let's see what he can make happen here. He's looking for the first pin, but he might not be able to find it. Good boom onto one survivor. Jockey is spawned up in the safe room. Tank can't find anything just yet, though. One punch onto Bill, followed by another. That's going to be several punches onto Bill. That's going to be a Jockey landing, but a Hunter landing, excuse me, but the Jockey cannot intercept. That's going to be a very good rock. A very unsuccessful rock, excuse me. And, well, it looked good for the survivors, but they still managed to come out with only one in-cap, and Zoe has taken a fair bit of damage, but not too much. I mean, the tank did okay, don't get me wrong, but it is a favorable position to be in if you're... It's much more difficult for the tank than it is for the survivors. So overall, he did pretty well to get an in-cap, and that's courtesy of the Boomer as well. Right here, we have another death charge opportunity. Boomer curves the vomit. Charger is moving in. Can't get the connection, though. That means neither can the spit. Boomer's going to try to drop and get a proxy, but he can't get anything, and the survivors have no difficulty getting up the ladder, nor do they have much difficulty dropping down. Of course, Francis was slowed down in the back for a second there, but no spawns are up, so that is not really going to amount to anything. More than likely going to be the final attack here, of which is a quad cap, actually. Interesting way to end things. Hunter is spotted, though. They know where the Hunter is. Let's just see if they can pull off this potential quad cap. The Hunter has been chipped down to 141 HP, so he is very skeetable. That is a smoker positioned behind the alarm car as well. They are blocking it, though. Survivors are being very cautious because they are aware there could be a quad cap. In moves the jockey. He's got a lot of distance to cover, though. He gets himself shut down. Smoker can't land. The Hunter lands temporarily, as does the Smoker, but that is going to be a good shutdown onto the quad cap that will deny them the dream of it, and that is going to secure the survivors into the safe room with 768 points in total in the first half of this first chapter. This is now going to be it's going to be the chance for LuckyGlock to kind of prove themselves here, because they are on the higher ping. They do have a slight disadvantage here, having the higher ping in this first half of this installment here. So let's just see if that affects their survivor game, because, you know, for their sake, let's hope that it doesn't. You know, so. Got some pretty fast ready ups here as well, actually, which is, of course, as a caster, is your dream. You want to see some fast ready ups. That's kind of like Pop-Tarts. They're very, very pleasant to see. Unfortunately, the dream is being denied by Vigo for a second. There we go. Okay, so it is a fast ready up. That's exactly what we want to see. We have a spitter, jockey, charger, and a smoker, same as last time. Now, let's just see how they can pull it off here, because there are death charge opportunities. There is the opportunity for the smoker to pull somebody and make them hang from the rooftop. The jockey can do the same thing. There is going to be a pause followed by a leave, so that could be some connection issues there. But let's just see what they can do, because this is a lethal choke point. More often than not, a competent survivor team will be able to deal with it with relative ease, but it's just kind of down to, like, what do you have up your sleeve? Do you have something unexpected? Because you do kind of need it, because this choke point, albeit is very deadly, it's also very well known, which means that most people are accustomed to the map, and they are accustomed to the choke points and kind of how to deal with them. So just going to have to see how it happens. It's going to be a Vigo tank as well. Vigo was among Team Mediterraneans in the Cup, actually, in the European Cup that I hosted. As I said, that is Vigo being a part of Team Mediterranean. That is going to be Heli and Antax as well. Both of them competed in Mediterranean teams as well. So it is a predominantly Mediterranean team. In that sense, with there's Italy, there's Spain, there's there's all, and we have Avocado loading in and readying up, and we are going to see, of course, the same setup: a spitter, jockey, charger, and a smoker. But as I say, let's just see how well they can pull off this attack here. It is going to be an interesting observation, just to see what they do. They're clearing common infected. They have a very Uzi heavy setup at the moment. As far as I can tell, there's only one shotgun, and that is that appears to be true. Yes, there's only one shotgun. There's 3 Uzis. So they are running a very Uzi heavy setup here. That's going to be Bill just clearing some common infected on the other side. He jumps over. That's one survivor over. He's going to jump onto the high ground. Separation attempt is not successful. Neither is the charger or the jockey, or really anything, to be honest. That's going to be a good shutdown onto everything by LuckyGlock. They are now going to move back into the traditional tank fight location in the greenhouse, where all of the plant pots are. It is going to be, as I say, a Vigo tank, who was the Italian among Team Mediterranean. So let's just see what he can pull off here. I know that his caliber is pretty high, as are pretty much everybody in this team. Everybody in this team is of a high caliber. So there is a Charger, Hunter, and a Boomer. The Boomer is going to be vital here if it lands. That's going to be the Hunter moving in. Just going to get himself shut down simply because he doesn't really want a Hunter. He'd rather something a little bit more useful, like a jockey or a smoker, ideally. Because the smoker can pull somebody into the tank and set up his first target. Vigo's tank is on pass number 2, though, on 70%. So he is going to have to go in pretty soon. He's taking 400 damage as well in chip. And in he moves, an unfavorable tank position. Let's just see if he can make it favorable. In he moves, going onto the rooftop to start with. That's going to be his plan of action. He's looking for his first target. Boomer is going to get a boom onto one survivor. There's going to be a rock thrown and not landed, unfortunately. Pin. He does get a few punches onto Rochelle. That's going to be one punch followed by perhaps another. A really good hanging opportunity as well. Jockey is unable to make any more happen from it, though. So the tank actually did end up missing some punches as well. And unfortunately, I don't believe that was an in-cap. No, it was not an in-cap, actually. He just took a lot of damage. So overall, they made it out of that tank fight with pretty good HP. That is a 74 HP jockey in the background as well, just looking for a respawn. So let's just see. There's going to be a Spitter, Jockey, Smoker, and a Hunter. They do not have a Charger. That is going to be unfortunate for 44Biceps. Pretty much, because this is a death charge opportunity and you would much rather a charge. As difficult as it is to pull off, if you do pull it off, you know, you're in a very good position. That's going to be Zoe consuming another set of pain pills because she fell below 40 HP. Smoker is spawned up first on the rooftop. Zoe is the first person to go on top. Obviously she would be, because she is the lowest HP among them in terms of being temporary HP. Goes for the smoke onto Zoe, but the tongue is cut. Hunter is moving in for Zoe there. Gets the connection. That's going to be a very good tri-cap. That's going to be a jockey in the distance. That's going to be a Hunter still pummeling as well. That Hunter is doing so much damage to Zoe. That is not going to be an in-cap. That was very smart by Bill there to shoot through the window and deny the in-cap. That was actually very, very smart gameplay by Bill. I do respect that tremendously. Survivors are going to make their way forward. That's going to be a Boomer and a Smoker, followed by a Charger. They are going to have to send it in now, though. They don't really have an option. Charger from the rooftop charges in, but misses his targets, as does the Smoker. That's going to be a stumble in the spit onto Bill, though. That's going to be an elimination of some of the health bonus, which is actually quite crucial, to be honest. The fact they managed that was actually pretty impressive. Survivors are going to make it into the safe room nonetheless, but because of the damage they took, they are going to make it in with 568 points. So they're not trailing behind by much, in fact, by points, which, to be honest with you, is not very much at all. This is a very tight scoreline, and we are just going to see how it plays out here. At the moment, 44Biceps have the lead, but of course, I'm sure most of us are expecting them to have somewhat of a dominant role in this particular installment, because they are actually playing on home territory, that being a European server. So that is obviously a prediction that they are going to be in a dominant position. So we are going to see a Boomer, Charger, Hunter, and a Smoker. They don't have a Spitter, so they have not opted to go for the indoor attack. They have chosen to probably go for either the ladder attack or the drop-down attack. Just depends on what kind of mood they're in. Let's just see what they just decide to do here. As you can see, the survivors are being very, very cautious here, which you would be in a tournament. There is a cash prize at stake here. Survivors are jumping onto the ladder. That's going to be a smoker spawned up in front of them. Going for Francis. Going to get Francis, but he sticks to the ladder. That's a triple boom. That's a hunter moving in. That's going to be a connection from the hunter. That's going to be a good interception charger as well. So the damage is decent. It's not amazing, but let's not deny honestly, that is pretty good damage, all things considered. Considering the charger did not land for very long, it was very well played. It was a very good triple boom as well from the rooftop. They were not expecting that whatsoever, the survivors. 44Biceps are going to make their way into the room with a spitter, jockey, charger, and a boomer to deal with. They have a boomer-spitter combination and a charger and a jockey to be concerned about. Now, I would be very concerned if I knew that was the setup that I'm going to deal with. The survivors are being very cautious here, as they would be. They have a very shotgun-heavy setup here. That's going to be a charger stumbling Francis. Spit is going to follow, but just not really onto anything because nobody is pinned. So they shut down the attack pretty well. They managed to mitigate the damage to pretty much nothing, despite the fact that the first attack was very good. Survivors are going to make their way into the room, the traditional crescendo room, following triggering the crescendo. Going to be a jockey, smoker, hunter, and a charger as well. It is going to be a quad cap. Can they land it? In they move. Charger first. Can't connect though. Good jockey. That's going to be a good jockey, hunter, smoker combination. That is essentially a tri-cap there. And that is going to be very, very good damage inflicted by the LuckyGlock squad there. That consisting of Avocado, Nevermore, Spirit, and Ramirez, proving themselves to be a force to be reckoned with here. Let's just see what else they can do, though, what more damage they can inflict. That's going to be a boomer, spitter, charger, and a hunter. A fairly lethal setup, but no separation potential with a smoker or a jockey. So let's just see. That's going to be a hunter pouncing in, lands the pounce, but the spit is actually, even though the charger lands, the spit is not going to be able to connect with anybody. That was also a quad boom as well, so that's so unfortunate that the spitter couldn't land there, because that could have been so much damage. The spawn timers are fairly synchronized, though. In 4 seconds we are going to have the next attack. That is a limping survivor as well, that being Vigo, aka Bill. He is currently limping and debating as to whether or not he should take his pain pills. And to be honest with you, I'm unsure as to what the wise decision would be here, because there is no tank yet. They have no tank to deal with as yet. That's a hunter positioned on the ladder behind the survivors. He's gonna be looking to move in with the smoker. Smoker first. Hunter looks for interception. But the hunter gets a 5 damage pounce, followed by a spit combination. Look at the damage inflicted onto Zoe. Now, I have to say, you have to give credit to LuckyGlock there. They are doing a lot of damage, and their infected gameplay is pretty darn good. That's going to be a charger, boomer, and a smoker. 2 more seconds will reveal the final spawn. It is going to be a hunter, so it's going to be a tri-cap without the spitter. Boomer goes first, but gets caught out, gets the boom anyway. Charger is going for the smoked victim, gets a little bit of damage, but not much to speak of. That is going to be a skeet onto the hunter that I completely missed as well. Tank is going to spawn in the hands of my favorite name here, Avocado. So it is going to be an Avocado tank making his way in. That is going to be Zoe limping as well. Essentially, Zoe is going to have to take her pain pills here, because otherwise she's going to be maybe 2 punches and she's down, you know? So she needs to be careful. Tank is actually looking for the car there. He hits the car up, but unfortunately it goes all the way over. over the survivors. He's got one more attempt. In he moves. The car goes in, but same situation. That car's going to land in a similar position. In fact, the exact same position. That's very unfortunate for the tank to have not made that work. He lost 1,100 HP as a result. He's trying the dumpsters now. He has one dumpster in play. He's moving in for the other, but the other is not playing ball. Now, the tank has a dumpster. That's all he has. Now, can he make it work? He's moving it in. It's close to the survivors. He lands a first punch. It's going to be a hang. That's going to be a dumpster moving in, barely missing Francis. Good punch, though. He's moving in, spreading the punch. Which is very well. That's probably going to be a wipe. That is indeed going to be essentially a wipe here, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very well played by LuckyGlock there. 900 HP remaining on the tank. The very brave tank as well to get those hittables in. That really threw the survivors off guard, and they had no idea what to do with a dumpster in their face. Because how often in that situation do you have to deal with a dumpster? I mean, when you do the math, it's not realistic that a dumpster is gonna kind of meet you there. So that threw them off guard. That is going to put their points currently at 1,095. That being the points of 44Biceps, who are currently on the infected side. The survivor side comprised of LuckyGlock are going to be showing themselves to hopefully, well, for their sake, take the lead back, because they are more than capable of doing that. But they have to be careful because, of course, they are not on home territory. The ping is not in their favor. So they need to be careful of this. And they are being very cautious. Boomer rocket booms in, gets a boom onto one survivor. I presume they are sacking the boomer in order to get a spitter. I presume that they would rather a spitter in this setup. The survivors are aware of this, though, and they are picking up the pace, and they are moving pretty quickly. Survivors, the infected, may not be able to attack with a spitter at this rate, and yeah, at this rate, they won't be able to. Instead, though, they don't get a spitter, they get a quad cap. Lucky for them. Gonna be moving in. Hunter lands, but he gets shut down. That's good. That's not gonna be a quad cap, excuse me. It is going to be a spitter. I have been out of casting for a while, guys, so you're just going to have to forgive me for the mistakes. I've been out of the business for quite some time now, and there are going to be some details that I'm missing. But nonetheless, that is going to be not very much damage, to be honest. There's 2 people on the board with 0 points. That's going to be a Boomer, Jockey, Hunter, and a Charger in the hands of 44Biceps. Boomer first onto 2 survivors. That's a good Boomer. Charger's going to look to try to set something up here. That could be a death charge. It is a death charge. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed what is a death charge. There's no way they can get... They absolutely cannot get back to her. She is dead. That is going to be a very good Boomer there. That's going to be a very good Charger, taking advantage of the unideal positioning of Zoe, aka Spirits there. That's going to be 3 survivors, so their chance of a comeback has been reduced here. And that's going to be a proxy boom onto 2 survivors. Spitter is prepared and ready, but gets shut down because none of the other infected are ready with her. That is going to be a Hunter and a Smoker so far. That's going to be a dead Zoe officially as well. So we have witnessed a death charge, but we did witness a very good tank by LuckyGlock. So they are still in the game and they have still kept the points close. That's going to be a Smoker first onto Francis. Lands, but gets shut down. That was actually a quad cap, and even though it was a quad cap, it's no match for the 3 remaining LuckyGlock survivors, those being Nevermore, Ramirez, and Avocado. Now, in terms of surviving a tank fight with 3 survivors versus 4 infected, let's just say the odds are not in your favor. That's a Boomer from below, nicely shut down by Nevermore, though. That's going to deny them the Boomer. Charger's going to move in off the back of the Smoker. Gets shut down mid-path, though. That means that the Spitter cannot capitalize on anything, and that is going to be the tank spawning pretty soon. It's going to spawn slightly later because they have 3 survivors, and therefore the distance points they accumulate are lower. That's going to be a wall kick onto Bill, followed by the death of the Hunter. I suppose he just doesn't want a Hunter there. That is going to be a Boomer primed and ready. Survivors are just pushing for distance points here. They're not going to actually fight the tank anywhere else. They just want a bit of extra distance points here. They are now going to move back. And they know exactly where the tank is. That's going to be a Boomer moving in. Proxy boom onto 2 survivors. Smoker in the back. Looks to get a smoke. Gets a smoke onto Lewis. Followed by punches. That's going to be several punches onto Lewis. And that is going to be his incapacitation. That is going to be the tank moving in for the 2 remaining survivors. Punches Francis. He goes absolutely flying because he jumps. It's never a good idea to jump here when you get punched. That's going to be Francis hanging himself essentially on the ledge of the building. He knows there's no chance. He's going to go down to a scratch from the Charger, and that's going to be 1,095 points in the hands of the European, predominantly European team, 44 Biceps, and it's going to be 883 points in the hands of the mostly North American LuckyGlock. So, you know, the points are still very even. And that tiny push that they did was actually worked in their favor quite significantly. So I just got a message, actually. In case anybody is wondering who is who, the current survivors, the people you are currently seeing on the survivor side, they are predominantly the Europeans. The guys on the infected side currently are predominantly the North Americans, just so that everybody is aware. I did get a question on that. So we are going to go into the next chapter of Dead Air. I was going to call it Hard Rain there for some reason. I don't know why I want to do that. My brain for some reason wants to say Hard Rain. Spawns are going to be up. That's going to be a boom onto 1 survivor. That's going to be a good hunt spit combination, but Zoe is only on the edge of the spit, so the spit damage is not going to be significant. That's going to be an instant smoke onto Francis, and to be honest, well, all things considered, the damage isn't really that bad. Primarily being inflicted onto Zoe. So, let's just see what they can do here. That's going to be a Jockey, Charger, Boomer, and a Hunt. So it's going to be a tri-cap with the Boomer. That's going to be the Boomer from below. Boom onto 1 survivor. Hunter is moving in. Charger gets a nice connection, as does the Hunter in the distance. Steals the Jockey's target, but it doesn't matter though, because the Hunter does more damage than the Jockey. Jockey is looking for some separation here. He's going to get himself dead stopped and headshotted. But my goodness, that separation Jockey-Hunter combination proved to be absolutely lethal onto Bill there. That is going to be some good damage onto Bill, who is currently sitting on 29 HP. And Francis as well is currently sitting at 58 HP as well. So Charger, Boomer, Smoker, and a Spitter. It is a 2-2, which of course is comprised of 2 infected that can incapacitate you, and 2 that cannot pin you at all. Boomer gets shot down from below though. Separation Smoker is not successful, neither is the Spitter. The Smoker does manage to pull somebody down, but that is unfortunately all she wrote for the infected attack. And they are going to be preserving their pills until now. And Bill has just taken his pain pills, and they are going to be moving forward here. Ammunition replenishment, as by default, is always going to be in that corner there. Hunter is moving in. Rocket Boom is shut down, though. We can't get the bunny hops right. So poor Avocado's Boomer is going to be popped. That is going to be a Jockey, Charger, and a Hunter in 6 seconds. We're going to see if it's going to either be a Spitter or if it's going to be a quad cap with a... Nope, it's going to be a Spitter. Thankfully for the survivors. But they do have to be careful of this charge spit combination. In they move. 23 damage pounce going to be inflicted there. That 23 damage pounce is going to be pretty much the highlight of that attack. The Charger didn't even attack. He's attacking now. Gets the charge onto Francis, but is going to be cleared mid-path. Francis, as a result of the damage pounce, is going to have to take his pain pills as well. That was a very good damage pounce. That was inflicted by Spirit. onto Vigo. Tank is going to be spawning here in the hands of Spirit, of whom is going to be looking to move the dumpster into play here. The dumpster is difficult to use, though. There are plenty of pillars and all sorts that you can use to essentially dodge the dumpster. That's going to be a Hunter looking for a damage pounce. That's going to be a boom onto one survivor. Tank is playing long here, just throwing some rocks from the distance. Landed nothing so far, and that's not going to be successful either. The survivors are deciding to move backward, which is going to force the tank to reposition. Dumpster is moving in. It may connect. It ends up connecting all the way from the other side of the map onto Lewis. Oh my goodness, what a dumpster. They are going to possibly revive him in time. We don't know. They're not going to be able to. What a dumpster. What a smart gameplay. And the police car is also hittable, so that's going to be another in-cap. That's 2 in-caps, 2 hittables. That's going to be a dual cap. That's going to be a wipe onto the predominantly European team here. That's going to be 44Biceps completely shut down, absolutely annihilated. That dumpster from halfway across the map was absolutely devastating. And what we have on our hands tonight, ladies and gentlemen, or this morning, this afternoon, wherever you're watching from, we are looking at a very, very close game, because these teams both won their first matches, as I highlighted in the beginning. They have already proven themselves to be of a high caliber. So let's just see how much more they can prove. This is now LG's turn again. Let's just hope that they don't get any similar occurrences, because they need to maintain all 4 of their survivors if they want to make this comeback. So let's just see what they can make happen here. It's all up to them. It's going to be a Crown Jevo, which is what I would call him. Going to be a Crown Jevo or Crown Yevo tank. It's going to be a Lewis in the doorway there. Going to be clearing the common infected before the survivors move outward. That's going to be a separation smoker attempt. Hunter and Spitter both land simultaneously. That's going to be decent damage onto Bill, but he does have the dumpsters in his favor, which the Spit did not spread on top of. So he was able to jump onto them and mitigate the Spit damage to the best of his ability. Survivors are going to make their way forward here. That is going to be only a jockey up in the hands of 44Biceps, that also being a Boomer, Charger, and in 1 second, a Hunter. So it's a tri-cap without the Spitter. Boomer from below is shut down. Most people do expect that, to be honest. That is going to be the survivors knowing exactly where the jockey is. Hunter is moving in, but gets himself shut down. Charger is not going to land. Jockey is going to land and deal some damage, actually, onto Bill there. So overall, the damage is not significant. Overall, the damage is not significant. But of course, they have to focus on building it up. They can't ever be satisfied. Only be satisfied as special infected when the survivors are dead. Otherwise, your work is not done. Boom from below onto one survivor. That's going to be a Hunter, Spitter, and a Smoker to capitalize off it. Smoker is from below, but gets headshotted and shut down so quickly there. That is only going to be a Hunter and a Spitter, of whom are both deciding against attacking. They don't believe it is a good idea, especially against the caliber of opponents they have now. Regardless of the high ping, they are proving themselves to be very, very good. They have skeeted a few things and they have shut down a few things. They're proving themselves to not let the ping get to them. Charger, Hunter, Spitter, and a Jockey in the hands of 44Biceps. Let's just see what LuckyGlock can do here against this upcoming tri-cap, of which I believe they are going to use in the alleyway. I don't believe they are going to attack in this choke point here, just simply because the Charger has to drop down. The Smoker is very obvious, he's going to come from below. You're going to shoot the tongue. It's a little bit too difficult to pull off, to be honest. However, if you have an alleyway, you have a Charger and you have a Spitter, and you have a guaranteed charge if you position it correctly, and therefore a guaranteed charge spit combination. Now, I don't really need to say it because most of you probably know, but charge spit combinations, they're pretty deadly, let's just say. They deal a lot of damage. Let's just see if that does prove to be the point here in this alleyway choke point, though. 44 biceps are on the rooftop above the survivors. The majority of them, the charger is actually below the survivors. Survivors are moving very cautiously. Of course they would do because they are in an alleyway. Charger is positioned on ground level. They are going to move in with the jockey. Charger cannot make the connection though, and neither can the hunter. The spit is not going to spread onto the dumpster either, so that's going to be very fortunate for Lewis, and that is going to be a very unsuccessful attack considering the location at which it was inflicted. So tank is going to be up in the hands of, as I said before, Crown Yevo, who is going to be doing the same thing, moving the dumpster into position. The dumpster is somewhat in position, is now going to be climbing onto the rooftop and is either going to be playing long or moving in with the hitterballs. I don't believe the survivors are going to push back here. I don't believe they're going to do that just simply because of what they did to their enemies. Then again, they might do because the tank is quite far away. They might be looking to push back here, actually. Yeah, no, they've chosen to push back. Just temporarily. And now they are going back to their original position. I believe they were probably hopefully looking to bait something out there. I think that was probably just kind of like a bait attempt. Tank is on pass number 1, 20% of it, and he is throwing rocks from the rooftop. He's on pass number 2 though, and this very muscular man is going to have to move in pretty soon here because his frustration is at 60%. This massive guy is going to have to go in soon. What's he going to do? He's at 30%. 35%, excuse me. He's moving in. He's going to move in with the dumpster as well. He's going to be moving it in. He can't land it onto anybody, though. There are so many pillars. Boomer onto 2 survivors. That's a good start, though. He ditches the dumpsters, going straight for punches. First punch onto Francis, followed by the second missed punch. Going to be a punch onto Bill, followed by another, followed by probably another. That's going to be an in-cap. A missed charger, though. Successful punch onto Zoe. 2 successful punches. Another miss, though. He's going to look for the dumpster, but he's shut down before he actually gets a hit onto the dumpster. And they do shut down the tank and revive their homie there. And that is going to be, going to be an exceptional result for LuckyGlock here. Jockey, Hunter, and a Spitter, though. Let's just see how 44 Biceps can pull this off. They have a Boomer as well. It's an indoor choke point, and they have a Boomer-Spitter combination. However, the Boomer is just shut down so quickly, though. Hunter is in the restroom looking to get a wall pounce or a wall kick. He hasn't gone for it just yet, though. And they haven't noticed him either. He's standing right behind them. He lands onto Lewis, as does the spit. Jockey does as well, so that's going to be some damage onto Lewis. That is the correct person to get damage onto as well, because he is health bonus. And it is exceptionally important, if you are on the back foot, to damage the people who have permanent HP, not the people who have temporary HP, because those are the priority. Those are the health bonus. It's going to be a Boomer, Charger, Hunter, and in 2 seconds, the final spawn will be revealed. It will be a Jockey. That's going to be a Boom onto 1 survivor there. Jockey is moving in with the Hunter and Charger. That's going to be a Charger missing. That's going to be a shutdown on the Jockey. That's going to be the Hunter landing, but only for a brief second there. Actually, not even a second, 0.73 seconds there. That's going to be the survivors, despite the damage they have taken, in good health. And they have made the comeback so far as well. They are in the lead now. So in this installment, we have a shift in momentum here. That is going to be a charge spit attempt, but it is not really too successful. Some scratch damage, but not really much more to follow. That is going to be a Smoker and a Jockey as well. and that's all they have. Smoker moves in for some scratches. That is going to be a Boomer shutdown as well. Survivors are making it into the safe room at this rate. Maybe even before the other two get the spawn. They are blocking the spawns, and they do have a decent health bonus. It's not the best, but it's decent. That's going to be a Jockey landing. That's going to be a Hunter landing, but both only temporarily. Survivors are going to make it into the safe room after shutting Francis out of the safe room. And they are going to extend their lead significantly here. So not only have they taken the lead back, but they have also extended it phenomenally. Now, the predominantly North American team, LuckyGlock, are on 2,095 points, whereas the trailing predominantly European team, 44Biceps, are currently on 1,355 points here. So we're at roughly around about a 700-point distance rounded up. And that's going to be a lot of pressure, especially for, well, I mean, it's going to be a good result for LuckyGlock, of course, but in terms of 44Biceps, they really need to be careful here because they are on the back foot on home ground. So they're currently on home ground, and they are behind as well, so that is going to be very much not in their favor moving into the second match. If they do lose, it's going to be an Antax tank as well. Going to be a Hunter, Boomer, Smoker, and a Charger. Charger is positioned above the survivors. Nothing happened just yet. The Charger is looked like it was repositioning. Boomer is shut down. Separation, Smoker shut down. Oh, Charger shut down as well. I mean, what can you say? I mean, it's a very, very early tank, though. Perhaps one of the earliest tanks I've ever seen on Dead Air Map 4, actually. Very early tank. That's going to be the survivors essentially taking the tank in the safe room here. Generally, I'm used to seeing the tank spawn a lot later, actually, so this will be interesting to see. Jockey, Smoker, and a Boomer. Charger is going to move in here, looking for the first pin. The first pin is crucial here. Survivors are going into the safe room. Lands the first punch, followed by a double punch. He's landing the punches across the board, but losing a lot of HP here. That's going to be a Hunter and a Smoker landing. Several punches onto Zoe there, but he will be shut down before he can get an in-cap. They are going to purposely in-cap Rochelle, but only because she was on like 2 HP. And if you in-cap her, she is revived with, albeit temporary, 30 HP, so it's a better result for them. Overall, LuckyGlock have shown themselves to be the dominant team here, leading into map 3 and 4. So they have taken the lead back. They have destroyed the tank, essentially. Despite the damage they have taken, they have a Spitter, Boomer, Charger, and a Smoker to deal with here. Charger is moving in, gets the connection, followed by the Spit onto Zoe. Zoe might not be the ideal target, though, because, like I say, she is not health bonus. Still going to be inflicting some damage onto them, and it's still going to increase their need for... That is going to be a Boomer as well from around the corner onto one survivor. But we're just going to have to see. They have triggered the crescendo. They are not really concerned about very much because, well, the thing is that they've dealt with the tank. They no longer have to worry about the tank. Survivors are going to be moving forward here. Hunter, Charger, Jockey, and a Spitter. It is a tri-cap with the Spitter. It's going to be a Hunter spawning up behind the briefcases. Spit is going to prematurely spit onto Zoe, actually, and get some damage. Charger can't make much happen, though. That is going to be a team skeet, so essentially that is a shutdown of the attack. And again, I must emphasize they don't have a tank to worry about. They have killed the tank, and therefore they don't really have much more to do. The safe room is not very far away by any means. So let's just see. Boomer, Smoker, Jockey, and a Hunter. It's going to be a tri-cap minus the Charger and minus the Spitter as well. Hunter is spawned up. That's going to be a Boomer spawned up as well as a Smoker. Smoker pulls from behind, but two people notice him and get shut down. Hunter lands temporarily, gets himself shut down, as does the Jockey. Not the Jockey, sorry. The Jockey didn't. Well, there's going to be a Boomer and a Jockey remaining. Survivors are making it to the safe room at this rate with a good health bonus if nothing else happens. That's a shutdown on the Boomer, so that's a good sign for the North Americans here. They are going to be moving their way into the safe room pretty soon here, and with a good health bonus again. Spitter, Jockey, Charger, and the final spawn, they have to go in regardless of it not being up. That's a missed charge, that's an unsuccessful charge spit combination. The majority of the damage has been inflicted onto Zoe as well, of whom is not the health bonus. Separation Smoker is unsuccessful. Survivors, aka the North Americans, aka LuckyGlock, are going to make their way into the safe room here, and they are going to secure themselves a bag of 3,039 points. Now it is up to the Europeans, being on home ground, to just kind of show what they're made of, because of course obviously one of them is not home ground, one of them is far away from Europe, but the majority of them are European, and let's just hope for their sake that the home ground advantage works in their favor here and they make it with a good health bonus. It's going to be a Charger, Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter. Hunter is pre-spawned, wall kicks and moves in. Can't land the punch though, gets shut down, as does the Charger and the Smoker. The Boomer from behind can't make anything happen though, and that is going to be unfortunate because the tank is now spawned in the hands of Ramirez. Let's just see what he can make happen with the tank though. He has 10 seconds remaining until he has all 3 of his spawns. So far he has a Jockey, and to be honest, I think a Jockey is a good spawn. I'm not so sure about the Hunter though. The Hunter might not be the most ideal spawn, but a Jockey, especially in a safe room, in terms of the separation potential, I believe is a very good spawn to have. Tank is looking to move in here. In he moves. Spawns are, well, the Jockey is spawned up, but the tank is going to look for the pin first. Lands the first punch, followed by the second. Going to continue landing the punches here. He's nearly dead, though. Could get an in-cap, and there's going to be a shot down onto every spawn before it can all land. He's trying to spread the punches here. Lands another punch onto Lewis there. Curve Rock is unsuccessful. It is an in-cap, but it is going to be a dead tank pretty soon. He's on 7 HP, literally. And he's just jumping around there, having a party in that room on 7 HP. He does eventually get himself shut down there. But he manages himself an in-cap. Now, the survivors are actually in good HP, but they need to maintain this. They need to make it with a good health bonus if they want to stay in the game. That's going to be a Boomer, Jockey, Smoker, followed by a Spitter.
Reloading.
Boomer breaks down the wall and gets onto 2 survivors. Pre-spit is going to set something up. That's going to be some damage onto Bill. However, he is not health bonus, so again, like I say, maybe the same thing is happening with them. They are attacking the wrong people. They need to be trying at least to attack the health bonus. And, well, the survivors have a crescendo to deal with, but they have no tank to deal with, like the predecessors, so they can just simply rush the event. They don't have to worry about running into a tank. That is a Hunter spawned up behind the survivors there, looking to pounce his way in. That's a very separated Lewis, but nice skeet there. Going to be a lot of scratches happening, but a very, very nice skeet from Lewis. Who's Lewis? That's Vigo. Yeah, that's exactly what I would expect from Vigo there. He is a very solid player, and I have seen him play for Team Mediterraneans in the European Cup, and he proved himself to be lethal, and that's exactly what I would expect from the guy. Spitter, Smoker, Hunter, and in 1 second we will have a Boomer. Not the most ideal setup. The Boomer is unsuccessful as well. He gets caught on the railing, but he still manages to get a boom. But after the Smoker dies, Hunter is looking for a wall kick, gets the wall kick followed by Spit combination. Bill is going to run through though. Again, he is not health bonus. So, you know, that works in the favor of 44Biceps, who are going to make their way into the safe room here pretty soon. They have one more attack to deal with though, depending on how it goes. Let's just see how it does go though. That's going to be a charger, smoker, jockey, and a boomer. It's a lethal tri-cap. No spitter, though. But let's see what can happen. Boomer is shut down. Charger is shut down, as is the smoker, as is the jockey. Very well played by the survivors. They're going to make it into the safe room. 2,469 points here, so they're not trailing behind by very much here. And I'm assuming we're going to lead into the second half with the same points. So 3,039 points in the hands of the side, LuckyGlock, and 2,469 points in the hands of the predominantly European 44Biceps here. And I believe now we are going to reset onto a different server, unless we're playing Finale. No, we're not. Okay, cool. So that means essentially, guys, that we are moving on to the next server. So for a brief period, there is going to be some silence, and you're not going to hear any of my voice because we are currently swapping servers. And we'll be back with you when the second half is live. So we'll be with you soon. Okay, so good evening, morning, night, or afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I needed a much-needed water break because that game was full of excitement, and well, essentially, I really need a drink of water because there was death punches and death charges and all sorts of crazy shenanigans happening on that server, on that half. So that was a much-needed water break, but we are back. And we are back with the second half of the Dead Air installment. Of course, as you can see, we are currently in the configuration stages. We are not ready to go live yet because we need to kind of set the scores and whatnot. But this is going to be an away game in favor of LG, in favor of the LuckyGlock. Because those guys are North American, and they are going to be playing on a North American server here. So they actually won by they actually convincingly won away as well, because the previous match they were away. They had they did not have good ping there, and yet they still managed to actually get the win over their opponents there. So the North Americans now being on home ground advantage. Let's just see what they can pull out of the bag here. And in case anybody would like any shout-outs, I did remove a few people because I was going through a few things in my life at the moment. But if you know how to find me on Steam, for example, if you know my European page or anything or whatnot, my European Cup page, feel free to add me on Steam and private message me if you have any questions you'd like me to answer on the stream or anything like that. Because unfortunately, I'm actually unable to see the Twitch chat. So if you do have any questions that you would like answering, then do feel free to ask me. Got a question from Krychax asking if I'm able to cast their game on Sunday at 6 p.m. Well, yes, Krychax, I am able to do that. That's perfectly within my capability, but it's just dependent on really if it's been scheduled by anybody else or not. But if not, then yes, absolutely, I would love to cast that game. And also, Krychak's giving a shout out to Discreet for being an awesome person and that he loves Discreet. So, a very heartwarming message. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see some family-friendly content here. As you can tell by my commentating, I do not swear. I do not allow no forms of profanity are permitted in my commentaries. They are exclusively family friendly, and of course, we want to spread the love. We want to spread the happiness. We are currently in quarantine, as this suggests as well, because it is literally called the Quarantine Cup, in response to the current situation and current climate of the world. So, just as a general reminder, guys. Remember about the coronavirus. It exists. It's a threat. And just be careful, guys. Be safe. Make sure that you are being safe, because in the current climate of the world, you never really know. So just be safe, guys, is basically what I'm getting at. These guys at the moment are just trying to configure their teams. They're having troubles with the spect, which of course is very unideal, because Avocado is not a part of the 44Biceps team. So perhaps Avocado needs to leave or something. I'm not sure. Don't know. But yes, let's just see what happens here. It is going to be the second half of the game, as I say. And as I say as well, it's going to be home territory. We are looking at the pings here, and look at the ping of Crown Yevo, 242 ping. The poor guy. Now he is going to suffer some tremendous lags. Heli and Antax, on the other hand, 120. Not too bad, but yeah, unfortunately, due to Crown Yevo's location, he kind of has to deal with being red on like literally every server. Pretty much, there's no real avoiding it. Like, he was kind of like red last game. The only real difference here is that he's just slightly more red, and he's slightly higher in his ping as well. So that's really the only difference. But yeah, we're just going to have to see how it plays out. I do believe that the home advantage is going to work out very much in favor of the North American side. Now, okay, so here's the thing, right? The momentum at the moment, I believe, is in the North American favor, the LuckyGlock favor. However, I don't believe it's going to remain in their favor if we're stuck here for too much longer. Because the longer we wait, the more you lose focus. And when you end up kind of losing focus, your gameplay decreases. And let's just hope, for the sake of they don't fall into that kind of trap. But we are attempting to get the teams together, but the swap functions are not working. We may have to call an admin, or no, he's swapped. There we go. Okay, cool. Never mind. So now we are just waiting on the home side. The North Americans, for some reason, I want to call them Luminosity Gaming. I don't know why. For some reason, my brain wants to say that. I know they are LuckyGlock, but for some reason, my brain just has Luminosity Gaming, which, now that I think of it, is a pretty cool name. But nonetheless, yeah, we are having some serious issues with the server here. So we are looking to restart the server just to kind of make sure things run a little bit more smoothly here, because this to kind of you know, get together. We are currently disconnecting from the server, and we will be rejoining fairly shortly. I'm stuck on the retrying connection to server. I can't actually open the console and press disconnect, so I am going to have to wait through this. But slowly but surely, we will be going live with the second half of this Dead Air installment here. So in case any of you don't know, my name is Haraldson. I have casted a fair few games in my time, and this is actually my first game that I have casted in the Quarantine Cup as well. And I'm so blessed as well to be able to cast 2 games with 2 teams who are very high caliber and both won their first games as well.
Knock it off, Zoe. I need a hand
So
over here.
you know, high caliber opponents. We have restarted the server, I believe, so it should be easier to set up teams now. Obviously, I don't really know what's going on, to be honest with you guys. I'm gonna have to be completely honest. I can only apologize on behalf, because I don't really know why the delay is happening, but I can only apologize on behalf, and we will be giving you the action ASAP.
A zombie chopper pilot? Ugh!
Be advised that the action is on its way, and we are doing everything we possibly can to bring it to your viewing pleasure. But yes, Krychax, I would love to cast your game. I'll have a chat with iPat, and I will see if I can schedule myself into to cast your game. That would be quite good. Sunday, I mean weekends especially, I'm very available. So you know, you might hear a lot of my voice. My voice might be heard a heck of a lot over the weekend period, because I am very available during that time, especially considering the whole, you know, the quarantine situation and whatnot. So, and a person going by the name of The Guardian, you're my favorite EU caster. Thanks for the ad. No worries, man. Thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate you saying that I'm the best. That I am the best EU caster. That is a massive compliment. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for the compliment, dude. Really appreciate it. So yeah, we just kind of we just need to reset the scores here, and then we're good to go. That is essentially all we need to really do. Everybody is pretty much ready, other than one person from 44Biceps. But yeah, we do need to put the scores. So I see there's some dispute on the clan tag as well. They've gone for Glock now instead of LG, which again, for some reason, again I wanted to call it Luminosity Gaming. I've no idea. That may be a team that I've heard of in the past that's coming to mind for some reason when I see LG. But nonetheless, they are moving back to Glock, and yeah, we just need to reset the scores. Once again, guys, all I can do is apologize on behalf of basically everything here. We do know the scores, and we are currently setting them, and we will be ready to go live on the second half, which is going to be, I believe, 1-4 as well. I don't think the Europeans are going to agree to a finale. Europeans generally don't do finales, so that is pretty much what we saw here. But I do wonder though, if they have a comeback, but let's just say theoretically, right? They have a comeback potential, and would they do the hard rain? Would they do the Dead Air finale? I wonder. That's kind of a question I have in my head, because if they have a potential for a comeback, then I wonder if they will actually elect to go for the finale. But let's just see. There's there is a little bit of controversy occurring in the chat here, which is it's unfortunate. You know, we are in some dark, ladies and gentlemen, we are in some dark times right now. So try to keep the mood light, okay? Because we're in quarantine. There's currently a virus, and we need to keep the mood light. Make sure that there's no bullying, nothing like that. Don't be rude. Just keep the mood light. This is a very, very awesome tournament, and I can't thank the creators enough. It is a very, very good tournament. A very good idea as well. It is international. It has achieved so many teams as well, and it started shortly after my tournament as well. So it's the timeline has been pretty good, and overall, I do enjoy this this timeline here. So yes, this is going to be part of the timeline. This is going to go down in history on the in the history of the matches. Going to be a 54% tank. We have one person per team to ready up. And we will be going live here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 people on 44Biceps or 44Biceps to ready up. My goodness, we are waiting a long time here. I'm so sorry, guys. Not much we can do here. It's not really our fault as such, but all we can really do is apologize. Nonetheless, we are, ladies and gentlemen, into the second half of this installment here. Let's just see what we have to deal with, though. That's a smoker spawning up. That's a hunter moving in. Separation smoker. Hunter moves in, but the spit is a bit early, though, so the spit cannot connect with the hunter. That is going to be only a boomer remaining, who might be looking to boom the survivors as they run backward, which, well, the boomer's actually kind of far away. Yeah, the boomer is probably going to look to boom on the survivors from the safe room here. Guaranteed boom there onto Bill. Oh, it should have been guaranteed, but he didn't vomit in time. Unfortunately, that's no boom. That's a no-go. No people have been boomed. Only a jockey and a charger to work with here. 8 seconds remaining for the final spawn, the third and final spawn. Antax is the Frenchman among the predominantly European roster here. He is going to be making his way up. Charger is going to get rid of the charger, just simply because he doesn't like chargers. He does not want a charger in that kind of area. There's way too many ways to dodge the tank there. Tank is going to make his way in here. Slowly but surely, he is on pass number 2. There. And in he moves. Smoker's going to look to set something up, but cannot do so just yet. Hunter is going to look for the wall kick. That's going to be a pouncing Hunter. Lands. That's going to be a good dual cap, but it's actually ruined by the tank, unfortunately. Interception Rock is unsuccessful. Going to land some punches onto Lewis here. Misses the second punch. Lands a punch onto Lewis, followed by another to secure an in-cap. 1k HP. He's going to throw a rock, but he is going to die to the focus fire of the North Americans, who suffer only 1 in-cap. My goodness, they played so well there. They managed to only get 1 in-cap. The North Americans now being on home grounds, they are really shining, and that is for certain. Charger, Boomer, Spitter, and a Hunter. Now that is a good setup for an indoor attack. Let's just see if they do choose to do it, which I believe by their positioning they are going to. Hunter is wall kicking in, gets shut down so quickly though, as does the Charger. The Spitter is going to separate Francis from his fellow companions, but that's not going to matter because everybody is dead on the special infected side. The North Americans, aka LuckyGlock, are going to make their way forward. They're going to get to the drop-down choke point and traverse it without having to worry very much at all, to be honest. Jockey, Smoker, Hunter, and a Boomer. It is a tri-cap. Boomer is going to hope to land the boom here, really. That's going to be the crucial component of this attack. Survivors are in such good HP here. If they make it to the safe room with this health bonus, then they're looking very good. There is an alarm car, however. There is also this tri-cap to deal with. Let's just see how they play it out, though. They are clearing common infected, making sure they don't run into any unnecessary common infected. They have to be so careful, though. That's a good shutdown on the Boomer and the Smoker. Hunter is moving in, but gets shut down so quickly again. My goodness, these guys are on fire here. They're going to move into the safe room with 3 people on nearly full HP there. They're going to put their points up pretty high. I mean, you only get 300 distance points for this map, so it's not tremendous. But they are going to get themselves 3,831 points in total here, leading into the second half of the first chapter of the second half of the whole tournament. Whole tournament? I mean whole match, sorry. Not the whole tournament, excuse me. Let's just see what they can pull out the bag though. 44Biceps. You know, they have to pull out a lot here because they have a lot of pressure. They have a lot of points to achieve. And this tank fight is crucial to them. Let's just see how well they can play it. I mean, you know, they need to play it well. They just need to play it well, really. Because if they get like maybe 1 or 2 people in caps, then they're going to be very far behind because you only get 300 distance points on this map. You don't get any more than 300 distance points. It is going to be a Ramirez tank as well to start things off for the LuckyGlock squad, of whom is positioned above the survivors on the greenhouse there. He can't find a spawn though. He might be looking for one, but he is unable to do so. Survivors have been blocking his spawn, so he is just looking to reposition here. That is going to be a Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, and a Spitter, of which is moving in. Smoker first. Hunter is shut down though. The tongue is cut as well. Onto the survivors is shut down. There is a boom onto 1 survivor though. I doubt they're going to risk triggering the tank, or actually maybe they will. Yeah, to be honest, I mean the horde will be done by the time the tank gets there. So Antax is indeed going to trigger the tank. Now it is so essential, absolutely essential, imperative, crucial that they maintain their HP here and close this point gap because they really do need it. Hunter, Charger, and a Jockey. That's going to be moving in. Hunter is shut down, as is, well, absolutely everything with such ease as well. The shotgun gameplay especially is really impressing me. However, the Uzi fire is pretty good as well. Now the tank is aware that there is a hittable car down there. He tried to get it in, but unfortunately it landed as you can see in an unideal location. He's looking to try to get it above, and with that hit, he does get it above onto the rooftop, but can he get it to the survivors? Honestly, second pass, I really doubt it. He's just going to go straight in. Smoker is going to look to set something up. He sets up a punch onto Lewis. Missed punch though, good juke there. They're going to look to try to focus fire the tank here. Some decent jukes actually from Lewis. Boom onto 1 survivor. Rock onto Zoe. That's going to be a dual cap. There's going to be some punches landed, several punches, and they actually are in worse health than their predecessors there, with 7% damage from Vigo as well, so they are suffering. 47% of the damage was inflicted by Antax onto that tank, and the second highest was 25%. So Antax did half of the damage. Now that is very dangerous for them. They do need to be focus firing the tank a lot better. Spitter, Charger, Jockey, and the Boomer for this ladder choke point here. Let's just see what they can make happen though. Jockey is moving in, gets himself basically skeeted though. Charger is moving in, but again, basically skeeted. That's going to be a boom onto 1 survivor, that being Zoe, but there's nobody to capitalize on this drop down choke point, and the survivors are going to be moving as fast as they possibly can. Zoe Zoe unfortunately slowed down a little bit because of common infected, but they could even make it into the safe room here before the attack. That is going to be a hunter moving in, but shut down. The doors are shut as well. That's a jockey in the spit, but he gets himself out of the spit very quickly. That's going to be a spitter moving in, and they do maintain their HP fairly well, and they don't get an in cap either. So nonetheless, you know, they're still kind of in the game, but it could have gone so much better for them. It really could have. The 45% damage on the tank, gotta say, that is a big reason why the tank did so much damage, because there was not enough damage output from everybody else other than Antax. So here we have it. The North Americans are in the lead on the second chapter here of the second half. 3,831 points in their hands versus the still very capable but trailing hands of 44Biceps on 3,189 points. We have only one person to ready up here, and we will be going live. It's an interesting composition, actually. I do like the composition of 44Biceps because I'm familiar with a lot of the players. But to be honest with you, at the moment they are essentially they're getting outclassed, and they really do need to. They really do need to remedy that, especially in terms of focus firing the tank, like I say. So here we go. We're going to be going into the second chapter, and it's going to be the survivor side being played by the North Americans, the LuckyGlock squad. Spitter, Hunter, Jockey, and a Charger as well. I mean, you can't really ask for a much more perfect setup. Maybe a Smoker instead of the Hunter, possibly? But then again, the Hunter can do so much damage in the spit, though. So let's just see what can happen here. Overall, though, it is a very lethal setup. Most of the Special Infected, actually all of the Special Infected, are on the rooftop here above the Survivor. It's going to be a silent Hunter just walking around, observing his surroundings. Survivors are very hesitant about going up this ladder because they know what's coming. They know an attack is coming pretty soon, so they're being very, very hesitant. And up they move. Charger moves in, gets the connection onto Bill, and the spit connection is unfortunately not going to land onto him, but the separation jockey is very good. At least that's going to be very good damage inflicted by the separation jockey onto Zoe. Nothing more to speak of, but that was very good separation. Zoe, aka Ramirez, is currently sitting at 53 HP. Sorry, I'm used to saying scores, and like they're usually like hundreds. That's going to be a Smoker, Charger, Boomer, followed by a Hunter. It's a good tri-cap. Let's just hope that there's no death charges, though. Smoker is looking to set something up for the Charger. He does set up a charge, but that's going to be some damage. Not a heck of a lot, but it is at least something. Unfortunately, there was no Spitter or Boomer to capitalize on the attack. Nonetheless, the tank obviously has yet to spawn. This is the first half of the second chapter, so gonna have to be dealing with a Boomer, Jockey, Spitter, and a Charger here. They have to be so careful of this Charger. Jockey is moving in. That's gonna be a pre-spit to set something up for the moving in Jockey. Charger is going to elect to not. And Charger is instead going to save his spawn. Probably going to look for a charge spits combination here, because of course they do have that. They have a Spitter spawned up right now. Let's just see if they can make it happen, though. They have a Hunter and a Smoker to accompany them. Smoker tries to separate Francis. Pre-spit is unsuccessful, though. Smoker is going to move. He is going to get himself shut down along with the Spitter, though. And that is going to be, well, there we have it. That is going to be some good shutdowns so far, other than the damage onto Zoe. Hunter pouncing in, but gets shut down in close quarters as well. That is a Boomer, Charger, and a Jockey. Charger's looking for the death charge. Can he get it? He can't quite get it, though. That is actually a death charge opportunity there. You can actually slide along the wall. That is a good shutdown on the Boomer, though. Jockey is the only special infected, being accompanied now by a Spitter, which, to be honest, is not a good attack to send in by itself. Spitter, Jockey, Smoker, and in 1 second it's going to be a Hunter.
Reloading.
Let's just see what the Hunter and the Spitter can pull off. Smoker from behind, can't make the connection onto it. Tries to pull somebody, but he can't do it though. Pre-spit, well, I mean, had to pre-spit because the Hunter is shut down. Everything is shut down. That's going to be a scratch onto Ramirez, aka Zoe, who is now officially on slow movement speed because she is below 40 HP. And anytime you fall below 40 HP, you do become slow. So that's going to be the tank in the hands of Heli. Heli being a very, very good player among this mostly Mediterranean squad here. Boomer is not successful though. Charger is moving in as well, but again he gets focus fired and shut down with ease. Rocks are being thrown, but nothing has landed just yet though. Heli's tank is in a bad position here. The survivors know exactly where Heli's tank is, and you know, they are well prepared. Tank has just gone on to pass number 2 as well. He's on 85% of it, so he's looking to move in pretty soon. Hunter is pouncing around here, looking to distract the survivors. Tank is going to move in, looking for the first pin. He can't get the first punch though. Gets the second punch onto Zoe though. That is going to be a shutdown onto the Hunter. That's going to be a smoke onto Bill, but the tongue is cut. Good jockey to set up for the tank. That's going to be several more punches inflicted onto Lewis, but he will be shut down. And overall, the damage that has been inflicted, although significant, isn't really satisfactory. And as you can see here, the focus fire is very equal. 28%, 24%, 24, and 24 again. Now that is the key to tank fights, making sure that everybody is equally focus firing the tank and keeping distance from him, where possible, of course, if it's possible. Boomer, Hunter, Charger, and a Spitter. Very lethal setup for an indoor location. They just have to not go for Zoe. Charger is going to land, but gets cut mid-punch. That's going to be a Hunter shutdown as well. So not very much damage happening from it. Survivors are going to make their way down the staircase here. Despite the double boom, they have no issues with moving forward. They have 1 set of pain pills and no survivor at this present moment needs to take them. Smoker, Charger, Jockey, and a Spitter is going to be the setup for the mostly European 44Biceps. Spitter is still spawned up, I believe. Is it just respawned? Yeah, just respawned. Yeah, so they do have a Charger and they do have a Spitter. So, you know, let's just see how they can play it. Charge-Spit combinations are very crucial and very lethal in this game, and they have a staircase to deal with as well. Let's just see how they play it, though. They are on the staircase. They know where the Spitter is. The Spitter is outside. Charger is round the corner, though. Moving in. Wow, the focus fire on that Charger was so impressive, actually. That shut down onto the Charger. Well, I mean, there you have it. They are going to make it into the safe room here at this rate with again a good health bonus, all things considered. They're going to get through the window here, and all of them are going to make it into the safe room. In they go, putting themselves at 4,979 points. Now, mathematically, 44Biceps are not completely out of the game, but they really, really do have to play so much better, though. Like, they have to make it to the safe room with everybody on nearly full HP if they want to stay in this game. Because this game is very much in favor of the North Americans, aka LuckyGlock. Just waiting on one more ready up here, and we will be going live here in the second half of this chapter of Dead Air. It's going to be an avocado tank. Let's just see what the avocado can pull off here. It's going to be a hunter, spitter, jockey, and a charger, of which LuckyGlock are going to be having. They're probably going to look to attack at either the ladder choke point or the drop down choke point. Let's just see which one they choose. Survivors are going to move down the drop down, so it's going to be a ladder attack. Hunter is positioned and ready for that 25 damage pounce. Easy, he can get easy 25 there. However, he is going to respawn, get a little bit closer. Survivors are moving up the ladder. They have to be so careful of this attack, though. Hunter is crouching and pouncing around. That's going to be a missed charger. That's going to be a Hunter landing. Spit goes onto the wrong target, though, but that's going to be the jockey putting Lewis in the... Oh my goodness, he put Lewis in the fire and the spit as well. So the jockey not only burned him with fire, but also with acid. Now that is absolutely ruthless. That is a ruthless jockey right there. He put that guy through absolute hell. Smoker, Hunter, Charger, and a Boomer, though. Let's just see what they can make happen with it. Boomer first. Gets himself shut down, though. Charger is going to... Temporarily. Hunter is going to move in and land, but only for a brief moment. Survivors have triggered the crescendo just now, and will be moving back inside. That is a smoker from below. He was looking for a pull there, but he wasn't able to get one. He's looking for a respawn, can't get it. So instead, he is going to just simply trail behind the survivors, and he does end up getting a respawn. Very good. So Lewis, aka Heli, has taken the most damage. That's going to be a... The pre-spit is positioned fairly well. Not much to happen from it, though. The Boomer is shut down in 0.4 seconds as well. That's the kind of reaction times they need to stay in this game. But of course, they have already taken so much damage from Lewis, taking damage from both acid and fire. Imagine that. That is crazy. Charger and a spitter. 3 more seconds, and we're going to have our final spawns. Charger, Hunter, Jockey, and a spitter. Let's just see what they can make happen with it. Hunter is pouncing in the doorway. In they move. Focus fire is good, but the charger lands nonetheless onto Bill, of whom is actually he is actually health bonus as well. So that is a good target to go for. That's some good damage they inflicted onto him there. And it's now onwards and upwards for 44Biceps here. The Europeans, who were actually in the lead at one point. The Europeans at one point in this game actually had the lead, but it's been taken away from them by the Americans. In moves the Hunter, gets denied. There's going to be a jockey followed by a Boomer. Separation smoker onto Zoe, does some damage. Not really much to speak of though. Lewis is preserving his pain pills because he knows that there is an upcoming tank, and they really cannot afford to take much more damage here. They really can't afford it, because they are running out of opportunities here, and they really, really do need to make it to the safe room with a good health bonus. Otherwise, there is just simply no chance for them. Let's put it like that. Hunter is inside, pre-spawned, looking for a wall kick. There is going to be a charger in the same location. Wall kick onto Zoe. The spit is not going to follow. Going to wait for the charger instead. It's going to be a double boom, separation spit as well. Not a huge amount of damage happening, but to be honest with you, look at their HPs. I mean, if I was them, I would not be happy with this whatsoever. And the tank has now spawned. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of the survivors are in very bad HP at the moment, really. Even though Vigo and Antax, aka Bill and Zoe, look like they're in good HP, they're only on 60 HP. And 60 HP means that you only need you need less punches to become incapped. Tank is going to be looking to do the same thing, actually. Get some cars in. Goes for the first car. First car is unsuccessful. Goes to the exact same location. That's a deja vu there. Looking for the dumpster instead. One dumpster is in play, doesn't land on anybody, but he is looking for the other dumpsters to come into play here. He can't make it happen though, and he's taking a lot of damage as a result. That's going to be another dumpster, not in play though. He can't do this for too much longer though. He's losing a lot of HP. And in he moves with the dumpster. Smoker tries to set something up. Tank is chasing Francis here. Gets the first punch onto Francis, followed by the second. Going to be an in-cap here, surely. It is indeed going to be an in-cap, followed by a jockey on Zoe that does some pretty good damage there. Tank is on 878 HP. He jumps down to ground level and looks for the car as well. He's trying to get the car onto the survivors. The car is hit onto the roof. It falls back down again, though. The survivors are aware of the low HP of the tank and therefore are going to push. But, wow, look at the HP of the current 44Biceps squad here. Charger is moving in. That's going to be a separation charger off the back of the smoker. That could even be an in-cap at this rate. It is going to be an in-cap. And Tank doesn't have enough HP to do anything. He is going to jump straight back down. But that is going to be 2 in-caps. That's going to be a Hunter. That's going to be a smoke attempt as well. Hunter is moving in. He is looking for a connection here. Nice rock by the tank as well. That's going to be a good smoker onto Bill, followed by the rock and the in-cap as well. Oh, they are doing so much here. Another rock just barely misses Francis there. Wow, they did so much there, and the tank has 100 HP. He finally dies there. But again, look at the focus fire. Again, that is the issue there. 44% Antax again. He is nearly doing half of the damage of the tank again to the with the survivors. It is majority Antax most of the time. That needs to be resolved. That is a boomer getting a double boom. That's a jockey landing on Bill temporarily. Every single survivor is temporary HP now. Their health bonus is non-existent. Charger moves in, but he can't land on anybody though. He is going to be moving back there. It's going to be a spitter as well that gets shut down, I believe. So survivors are making their way forward, but they can only move as fast as their slowest survivor. That, of course, being Vigo and Heli, aka Bill and Lewis. These two are currently on limping status, and therefore they move a lot slower. Yeah, that's very careful of that. It's going to be a boomer going from behind the tables into one survivor. Good dual cap from the Hunter and the Smoker, but everything is going to get shut down quite quickly. Now, considering the HP of the situation they're in, they are, of course, going to clear very quickly. They've taken enough damage already. Enough is enough. However, speaking of enough is enough, that's an in-cap there, and that's a very deadly in-cap as well. That's going to slow them down tremendously. Not to mention give another attack in the same location as well. Charger, Jockey, Spitter, and a Hunter in the hands of LuckyGlock here. Hunter is moving in. He's going to get the connection. No, he doesn't, actually. That's going to be a Charger moving in for scratches. That's going to be an incapacitation onto Lewis. Now, there's things to consider here. Now, they have 2 people who are black and white here. 2 of their survivors are black and white, that being Vigo and Heli, aka Bill and Lewis. Those 2 guys are black and white, and they still have more of the office space to get through here before they're in the open area and before they are in the safe room. They have a Smoker, Hunter, Charger, and a Boomer to deal with. Hunter is shut down. It's going to be a single boom, double charge, and a separation Smoker to follow as well. That is good damage. That is going to be a death as well because of the lethal nature of the attack. That's going to be the death of Bill there. 3 survivors remaining at 90% of the map. They have to make it in now. It's now or never. There's a Jockey and a Spitter followed by a Hunter. Survivors are moving in, but they are having to deal with a Jockey and a Hunter. Jockey is dealt with. However, the Spitter synchronizes with the the Hunter synchronizes with the Spitter and therefore gets an in-cap outside the safe room. They're going to try to revive him as best as they can. Very good cover by Lewis there. That is going to successfully revive Francis, and they are going to get into the safe room. However, in terms of the math, their chances of coming back from this are not looking good for them whatsoever. The North Americans are proving to be very, very strong here. Of course, there are plenty of opportunities, and it's not over for them. But you do have to kind of consider, this is over 1,000 points we're talking about here. 4,979 points in the hands of the currently winning team, the North Americans, the LuckyGlock, versus the trailing 3,770 points in the hands of the very trailing 44Biceps. Let's just see what they can do here, because they have this chapter and the next chapter. Mathematically, it of course is possible, but they do need an early wipe. They need to wipe the survivors at a tank fight here, or they need to wipe kind of as early as possible, basically, because you know, the more distance points the survivors acquire, the harder it's going to be to come back from this for the Europeans here. I know I keep calling them Europeans, but to be honest with you, I'm actually I'm gonna come clean. I'm actually unaware of where Kraunjevo is from. Just gonna come clean on that. I'm unaware of where Kraunjevo is from. That's going to be a smoke attempt, unsuccessful though. Jockey is not spawned up, and the charger is spawned up. We're gonna look to get back onto the roof there. Every spawn is at the same location, basically. Charger does take some chip though. He's going to be a little bit less lethal. Smoker first, Charger second, lands onto Zoe there, followed by the double spit and the jockey in the spit. That's what they need. They need that kind of stuff there, and they need that non-stop on replay. They need to essentially replay that scenario over and over with a little bit more of a deadly nature in each attack, because they need to wipe these survivors. They have surpassed 5,000 points now. The North Americans are looking very strong here. They have surpassed, as I say, 5,000 points, and are well, I mean, I wouldn't want to face them. Let's put it like that. Boomer from below onto one survivor. That survivor is also below himself as well. They're going to look to capitalize on it. That's a good charge scratch combination, followed by an interception hunter and a charge spits combination with the boomer. Very good damage inflicted by 44Biceps here. Now, again, that is exactly what I said. They needed to do that. But again, and that now they need to do more. They need to keep this up. They need to keep the pressure up, and they need to wipe these guys, because they're over 5,000 points right now. Smoker, Spitter, Jockey, and the Boomer. Not the best setup in the world. Boomer from below onto two survivors, though. Smoker looks for some separation. Jockey moves in, lands onto Zoe, gets some damage. A separation Smoker onto Francis lasts for around maybe 2 seconds, and will be shut down as well. Therefore, we do have our result of that attack. That attack was not nearly as lethal as the last two attacks. But yes, Adam, that was a lot. That you are correct. That was a lot of damage. We do have a charger and a hunter, followed by a boomer. They might, well, yeah, they've gotten out of the alleyway already. The North Americans, there's no chance of attacking in the alleyway anymore. Hunter is looking to try to maybe get a damage pounce here. It is possible. However, look at Bill. He is aware of it. He knows. He's looking on the rooftops. He knows that there is a hunt. Moving in. Then again, that's going to be some very, very good damage, though. Exceptional damage, in fact. And they need to keep this up, though. But the thing is, though, is that they're going for the wrong targets again. They need this damage to now be inflicted onto Bill and Francis. That's what they need to do. They now have a tank, and it's up to them to wipe the survivors. They have to wipe the survivors here. That is their chance, and coming back from this. If they wipe the survivors here and make it with a reasonable health bonus, they could be looking at a lot. As a good hunter in the distance, that's going to be very good damage. Dumpster moves in, but the dumpster is unable to land, though. That was very close. Curve rock round the corner. Cannot land, though. They're going to be chasing down the tank here. Tank is going to be looking to get the first punch, but he can't get it, though. He's in a very bad position here. Goes for the curve rock. Can't get it, though. The survivors are playing hyper aggressive here and are pushing down the tank like you wouldn't believe. Boomer and a jockey as well. They have to be careful of this boomer. The boomer has so many places to go here, and he is in one position he's in right now, which is a very, very good one. He's going to get the boom onto one survivor. Tank is going to move in here. after a curve rock, I presume. Curve rock is unsuccessful. He's moving in for the survivors on 2.8k HP. He's going to go for the dumpster here. In moves the dumpster. It's going over. It can't hit a survivor, though. Survivors are in an interesting position. They reposition very well, though. And unfortunately for them, well, the worst they've dealt with so far is a 3 damage pounce. They haven't dealt with the dumpster yet. The tank is going to retreat to the upper ground. He's on second pass, though. He misses the rock as well. 10%, 5%. It goes AI, and the AI tank is going to move in for the survivors, climbing over the fence for some reason. And that is going to be his death pretty soon. There we have it. Unfortunately, they needed the white there. And the North Americans, well, to be honest, they are actually looking in good health now that they have killed the tank. And again, the damage kind of like input or output, excuse me, is relatively kind of even, apart from 35%. That's a little bit, nonetheless, a bit even. That's going to be a good smoker and the boomer with the spitter, but the spitter can't make anything happen in that doorway, though. That's going to be the survivors retreating into the restrooms to avoid the acidic spit. And that's going to be a delay spit attempt, which is successful from the spitter, because when you die as the spitter, as you very well probably do know, you do drop a pile of spit, which also does damage. Charger, jockey, boomer, and in one more second we will have a smoker. It's a good tri-cap. Let's just see what they can make happen with it, though, because the thing is that this is a difficult choke point. Boom onto one survivor. There's going to be a smoker in the back. Hunter, and there's going to be a jockey landing temporarily. Proxy boom cannot land. Neither can the charger. Neither can anything, really. And that is going to be the survivors in good HP, with nobody needing to take a set of pain pills, and yet they still have one. North Americans looking to extend their lead to a point where mathematically it is impossible for 44Biceps to essentially take the lead back. It would be unfortunate if we see that. That is a Hunter pre-spawned behind the boxes, lands onto Lewis. That's going to be a pull in the spit. It's going to be a jockey shutdown, and that is going to be simply a delay spit. Nothing else amounted from it. The only thing they achieved from it was a delay spit. And the survivors are going to make their way into the safe room here comfortably, putting themselves above 6,000 points here, 6,151 points here, and they still have one more chapter to go. Of course, we're not going to say 10,000. That would be very unrealistic, but, you know, it is possible. It's just that, you know, we're not going to see it. But 6,000, they are past 6,000 points now. Absolutely ruthless. The North Americans showing themselves to be really quite a force to be reckoned with, let's be honest. In this current, like, state, and I just got a shout out from Team Glock there, shouting out to a person called Melona. That's nice of them. Just remember, of course, like the Guardian did, if you would like to add me and give a shout out at all, then that would be fine by me. I don't mind that. Survivors are very patiently making their way out of the safe room here. They do have a spitter, jockey, charger, and the smoker. Charger is going to not connect, but the spitter is going to connect with the smoker and the jockey. Oh, look at the damage. Not nearly as much as the predecessors, mind you, though. They actually did not take as much damage, but still, that was a jockey and a smoker keeping a victim in the spit there. And that, of course, is, well, it's a job well done, basically. So it's well played by both sides, really. Well played by the special infected for what they did, but well played by the survivors to mitigate the damage as much as they did. That is a boomer from below onto one survivor. Jockey from below was shut down, though. Hunter is looking for a damage pounce. He gets the pounce onto Lewis, but there is no spit to follow. So unfortunately, there we have it. Not a heck of a lot of damage happening from the attack, and well, 44Biceps. They are looking in good HP, and let's just hope that they can keep it. You know, let's really hope that that they can... Sorry, I've got a really flattering shout out here. Krychak's saying I'm the best caster in the L4D2 community. That's I wouldn't go that far personally, Krychak's, but thank you very, very much for the compliment. That's going to be a smoke onto Bill, followed by an unsuccessful charge though. Jockey into the spit. That is going to be a stumble in the spit, I believe. That is phenomenal damage. My goodness, the damage they took there. These guys are really struggling to maintain their healths here, and that is it's disappointing to see, really. I mean, if you look at Heli and Vigo, especially, aka Francis and Bill, those guys have taken a lot of damage. So let's just see what happens here. Boomer, Smoker, Jockey, and a Smoker. I mean, Boomer's going to go from behind the truck onto one, Smoke onto one, damage pounce, 15 damage pounce onto Francis, followed by a Smoke that temporarily lands, but that 15 damage pounce is pretty good, actually. Very, very well played there. That is going to significantly hinder the health points of whatchamacallit.
Reloading! Reloading!
Of the Glock. Or LuckyGlock, I should say. That is going to be a charger spawning up, getting the charge, but he becomes the tank, and therefore the charger disappears into thin air. That's a Jockey landing onto Lewis, but only temporarily. That is going to be a tank looking at the forklift. Instead, he's going to climb up the ladder, and that is again going to be Antax dealing all of that damage there. That was mostly Antax, so they need to make sure that it's not just Antax doing the damage here. The past 2 tank fights, we have seen Antax doing up to 40 to 50% of the tank damage. That really needs to change. Tank, however, in the hands of Spirit, is going to be looking to move the car in, is in a reasonable position to kind of get in. Also has a dumpster as well, so a dumpster, 3 hittables in particular. Dumpster moving in for Francis, barely miss it. Just barely misses Francis there, going for the car. And what can the car do here? Let's just see what the car can do. He moves it in. It's in play, but not in a particularly good position here. Tank is looking at the forklift. He's going to look to move the forklift in. Moves it in, but he can't get anybody just yet. Ditches the forklift and goes for punches instead. Can't land one just yet. Survivors are dealing a lot of damage though. There's going to be 2 punches onto Bill, followed by the car that misses everybody, and everybody again! And the tank is going to be shut down by the survivors. It's such a shame they're so far behind, because that was very well played. And again, you see, it went a lot better because the damages were even. 31%, 27%, 25%, 17%. The damage output was fairly even, and that's what I'm talking about. That is why it went a lot better for them. Jockey, Charger, Spitter, and a Smoker is going to be the setup for the special infected here, the North American LuckyGlock. Charger moving in with the Smoker. Both of them land a successful charge spit combination onto Bill, who is still in the spit. And I mean, he nearly gets incapped, to be honest, at that rate. They give him a set of pain pills, and he ends up taking them. They also give the other set of pain pills to Vigo, aka Francis, who is currently on 47 HP, and he is trickling down, and when he falls below 40 HP, he will have to take his pain pills to increase his movement speed. Boomer, Smoker, Jockey, and a Hunter. There's going to be a proxy boom onto 1 survivor. That's going to be a Smoker. There's going to be a Hunter in the back. Shut down, though. That's going to be everything shut down but the Smoker. But the Smoker can't make anything happen either. Now, where were these clears a while ago? Like, these clears are what they need. They needed these clears at the crescendo. The crescendo, they took so much damage here. And, you know, I mean, yeah, they have a reasonable health bonus, but, you know, they have so much more to cover. And if they made it with a really good health bonus, we could be looking at a different story here. Let's just see what happens, because there's another attack. Charger moves in. Charger lands onto Francis, followed by the spit. That's going to be a surefire in-cap with the help of the Hunter, maybe, possibly. Yes, indeed, it is an in-cap onto Francis. Lewis is using his axe very well to cover the common infected from blocking his revive animation. Choosing to maintain his pain pills and you know, just retain them and make sure that he can acquire more points. Smoke onto Francis is unsuccessful. Charger is also unsuccessful. That is going to be a delay spit, which will be successful. which will not be successful, excuse me. And we are going to be looking at 6,151 points in the hands of the currently winning LuckyGlock versus 4,774 points in the hands of the trailing 44Biceps. Now, at the moment, to be honest with you, the North Americans have been showing themselves to be the superiors, and it's unfortunate if you're the predominantly European side. It is unfortunate, but to be honest, these guys are winning fair and square because they have won on both away and home, and this is their chance to secure the win. And you know, if they make it into the safe room with a health bonus here, there's not really a lot for. So we're just going to have to see how this plays out, of course. Let's just see what happens. You know, there's plenty of... anything can happen, really. Left 4 Dead 2 can often be an unpredictable game. Just need to wait for a few more ready-ups here on 44 Biceps, and then we will be going live. This is going to be the final chapter of the... Unless, of course, they do agree to a finale. Let's just see if they do. They might not, though. Spitter, Boomer, Hunter, and a Jockey. That's going to be a Hunter pre-spawned. Boomer drops down.
Played, sir.
Though, Boomer gets himself shut down. No boom onto any of the survivors. Jockey moves in, but that's going to be a Hunter landing onto Zoe, but no spit to follow. Jockey is still pouncing around and eventually gets himself shut down. The only real damage they inflicted there is a little bit of Hunter damage and a little bit of scratch damage from the Jockey. Now, the tank is up in the hands of Crown Yevo, and Crown Yevo is their light right now. They really need to wipe the survivors. If they wipe the survivors here and then make it to the safe room with a really good health bonus, you know, you could be looking at something. I don't think it's very likely, to be honest, because the tank might manage at least, you know, I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens here. We're going to have to see how it plays out. It's up to the team 44Biceps to wipe the survivors here, though. That's imperative. That is task number 1 at hand. Tank is just simply throwing some curve. Tank just simply throwing some curve rocks, just trying his luck here. They have a Hunter, Smoker, and a Jockey to support the tank, of whom is looking to go in pretty soon. He has to. He has no choice, really. And in he moves. Gonna look for the first pin here. Survivors are moving back. They're gonna go into the safe room, and into the safe room they go, apart from one. That's one punch onto Lewis, followed by another. In move the special infected, double punch. That's gonna be one punch. That's gonna be several punches, but the tank is nearly dead. The tank is dead, and the survivors have survived with very good HP. And they're just simply showing themselves, especially with a one-shot skeet in that area by Ramirez, by the way. Kudos to Ramirez there. And again, that's what you want to see. You want to see kind of even tank damage with with it kind of being like, 32%, 29, 20, 19. That's pretty even. That's a good result. Boomer is shut down in 0.7 seconds. He can't land a boom there. That's going to be a Charger, Spitter, and a Hunter. Hunter lands, followed by the Spitter that doesn't actually spit. The Spitter spits a little bit too late, and therefore cannot spit onto the hunted victim. So everything is just not working in their favor right now, really, the 44Biceps. I mean, this is an incredible result for the LuckyGlock here, of whom have triggered the crescendo and will be moving forward here. If you position yourself well enough, you can actually get pushed through the fence there, both in Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. Boomer from the suitcases gets popped. That's going to be a separation smoker, self-cleared though by a melee, and that's going to be everything shut down, including a skeet on the Hunter as well. It was a team skeet, nonetheless a skeet, and they have been showing a lot of them actually. The North Americans on both the away and the home setting. Only a Spitter in the hands of 44Biceps, followed by a Jockey, Boomer, and a Charger. Survivors will be making their way up to the escalators here to firstly deal with the Boomer. Boomer onto one survivor. Charger moves in, but he can't make a connection. The Spitter pre-spits onto the escalator. The jockey is too far away from the spit to get him into it. So the survivors, I mean, look at their HP. Look at their health bonus. They are, if they make it into the safe room with this, then there's no chance. There is absolutely no chance for 44Biceps here. Only a Hunter in their hands, followed by a Smoker. Hunter is going to be looking to pounce around here. He's gonna be looking to pin somebody with the Smoker. There's a Charger as well. Boomer gets a good bunny hop there, but still gets shut down. Everything gets focus fired so quickly, and the survivors will make it into the safe room, surpassing 7,000 points, ladies and gentlemen. The North Americans here, the LuckyGlock, have achieved 7,375 points on both a home and an away setting. This is a combination of both of the scores here, so they have won on both of them, and my goodness, they have surpassed 7,000 points. And what can 44Biceps do? Really a lot, to be and to be honest, 44Biceps can't really do a lot here. They have simply been outclassed, I believe. That is a Hunter looking to wall kick. He's moving in nicely, skeeted though. That's going to be a good shutdown on the Hunter. Good shutdown on the jockey as well. I mean, that kind of gameplay there, like, that's what they need. They need that the whole way through, not just here. Like, unfortunately, their really good gameplay comes out, like, when they're losing. That's going to be a good dead stop on the Boomer as well. So again, they've shut down the Boomer. There's no risk of a Boomer now, unless, of course, they get another Boomer. But, you know, they did shut down that Boomer. Smoker is going in with the Charger. Charger cannot land, and neither can the Smoker, so both of them will meet their demise. That's going to be some chip on the tank. That's going to be Antax chasing the tank down, doing some chip. He deals about 200 chip, just under, 200 chip to the tank. Of whom is on pass number 1. It's a Nevermore tank, by the way. Just so that everybody is aware, the tank is in the hands of Nevermore. That is going to be a boom onto one survivor, which is not a good result for them. Good result for the special infected, but, you know, they haven't sent the tank in yet, and I wonder if they will send it in. Doesn't look at this rate that they are going to send the tank in. Because he's, I mean, there we go. Yeah, because I thought it looked like they were going to send him AI, to be honest with you. That's going to be a Hunter moving in. Good stumble. That's going to allow him to pin, not Rochelle, sorry, Zoe there. Double punch as well. Another double punch. 2 double punches. That's going to be a charge as well. That's going to be a punch onto Lewis. Not Lewis, sorry. That's going to be pummels onto Lewis, though. That's going to be 3 in caps. That's going to be a jockey onto Francis. That's going to be a GG. Well played. And my goodness, the Americans won by a large margin there. LuckyGlock, 7,375 points versus 4,826 points in the hands of the losing predominantly North American team. So that is a GG from us. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you very much to the tournament administrators for allowing me to commentate the tournament. It has been an absolute pleasure. I will be returning. So I will see you guys fairly shortly. And but that is it from now. Goodbye, and see you soon.